Love like ours, Rasta, playing here on VybezRadio. The show is CeaseNSekkle with I, Ras Ridiq, Black Jesus.
And me, Nazizi, the original Roots daughter.
And we, as you know, Rasta, it's Tuesday, so it's Empress Divine, Rasta. And we have an Empress with us by the name of Quinta Mbori Saina. You know what I mean?
You had to say that. Welcome to Empress Divine.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. And on Empress Divine, we're always celebrating great women.
Yes.
Okay.
And we thought it would be amazing to have you on.
Yeah.
For you listening, she's president of the Standard Group Women Network.
Yeah.
And a founder and creative director at Women Kenya.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And we're so happy.
We're so happy, yes, I.
Yeah, on Tuesday we get this energy in this studio. It's all these empresses with their divineness.
Yes.
They bring it here and we can feel it. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can't hear you.
Ah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Don't worry about
Don't
that.
worry about it. We'll fix
Okay.
that in a few.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, man. But could you tell us a little bit about yourself? How long have you been the president at the Standard Group Women Network?
Okay. Well, good question. Where do I start?
Anywhere.
Right. I've been president of Standard Group Women Network for, actually, I'm turning 1 year on October 12th.
Okay.
Yes, that's when you were officially launched.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And
it's-
what does the Women Network do? What is some of the things that you do?
The Women Network. Do you have the time?
Yes. We have a little bit of time.
Okay, yes. So the Standard Group Women Network is a professional network here at Standard Group. And what we do is that we seek to give women a voice at the workplace and also position them for greater responsibilities in the society. Yes. So what happened, if I could just give you a brief history.
Yeah.
There was an employee engagement survey that was done here at work.
Okay.
Well, they were not really targeting women.
Okay.
It was just to check the level of engagement for employees at work. But what happened is, from the results, something peculiar came out. And that was for some reason, if they looked at the level of engagement for both men and women, men were more engaged than men. Men were more engaged than women.
Yeah.
Yes, because they were looking at different areas at the workplace. If I could just mention maybe just a few.
Yeah.
They were looking at the job satisfaction. How were people happy with what is happening at work in terms of facilities, in terms of maybe remuneration and so on and so forth. Yes. They were also looking at career growth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Were women happy in the way they were growing right from the time they joined, say at the entry level?
So there was in the survey it showed that the women were not so much.
Totally. There were 10.
Oh, totally. Not
There were 10 engagement key drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And out of that, women were unhappy with the 10 areas.
Wow.
And men, on the other hand, were
Happy?
as usual.
Wow, what
Okay
a
with
man's
it.
world. But
You
we're
know?
here to change that. And that's
Yes.
why we have you on Empress Divine.
Thank you.
And, it's a great thing what you're doing because, as you said, the study or the survey was
Yeah.
not really about women.
No, we were not.
But-
The women were not being targeted at all.
But you were able to learn something from that survey and find out what
Trust
is
you me.
needed to be done.
Yes.
And in October, it's going to be 1 year.
Yes, we're turning 1 year, and there's a lot that is happening. I don't know if I should talk about it now. Maybe we can talk about
Definitely,
it later.
yes. We have Quinta Saina in CeaseNSekkle Empress
I.
Divine today, and we'll be talking more to her when we come back.
Legal now. Playing here on VybezRadio. The show is CeaseNSekkle, Rasta. And we have an Empress Divine with us, Rasta. If you not know, you need to know, you know what I mean?
Come on.
So most definitely we have Quinta Mbori Saina. Yes, I. So let me ask you a quick question,
Yes.
Empress.
Mm-hmm.
About Woman Kenya.
Yes.
What does it entail about?
Woman Kenya.
Yes.
Well, there's just something that Naz said before we went back on air.
Yes, I wanted to know.
Yes.
Basically, since you became the president of this Standard Group Women Network, have you already started feeling the impact and the changes of what you're doing?
Exactly. If you were, I always tell my colleagues here at work that
Yeah.
if you were a child And we were born last year on October 12th. Right now, we'd probably be around 9 months old.
Yeah.
But the kind of impact we've been able to achieve, I mean, it gives me jitters. I mean, I'm very excited about it, and I'm very proud to be part of the network. Now, in terms of the progress or the milestones that we've been able to achieve, when we kicked off the network, we had about 5 objectives. So maybe I'll just break it down. And we have about 5 objectives. One is on career recruitment and growth.
Okay.
Yes. The other one is on facilities at work.
Okay.
Yes. On that front, we've done a few things here and there. I'm very excited that we relaunched. We have a mother's room, a nursing room right now. A mother's room at the workplace. Yes.
That's awesome.
So, women, employees of Standard Group actually have a place where they can comfortably be moms without thinking about, their children, or the welfare of their children, especially at the time when they give birth. So that is an achievement of the network. We are very excited, and we are very thankful to the board, to the management for supporting us throughout.
All right.
The other one is on mentorship and training. I mean, we've had a lot of exposure, training opportunities for women. Right now, we are doing gender training for all employees, including men.
Ah.
Yes, we've had a lot of reviews in terms of our editorial coverage. We've been having discussions here and there with the key decision makers who are actually men, because what we saw in the past was that there was a lot of biasness in terms of coverage of women in stories and so on and so forth. So what we did was we've been having discussions, but they also talk. We are planning big things.
So when you say biases, you mean in stories, you mean in the media stories?
Yes.
So you are also trying to see how these biases can be put aside? Yes,
we're trying to manage the biases using different areas. Using different forms and formulas. One thing that we are working hard to do here at Standard Group is to create a gender desk where we'll be able to do a lot of gender streamlining, because the thing is, in the media house or in newsrooms, it's actually male dominated. And what we say is that when you have more women, taking part in decision making, it's not like we'll have pink flowers every day on page 1 and women, it's just that we'll have a different perspective, a balanced perspective, and that is what we are fighting for.
And you must, of course, have had some challenges doing this, right? Even though it's a positive thing that you're doing, we know everything comes with challenges.
Exactly.
Can you please tell me, what are the 2 top challenges that you've had since you started this network?
I think the greatest challenge of all is just the misconception that people believe that empowering women or women empowerment is actually grabbing power from the girl and handing it over to the boy. And that is not true. Because as I was telling our producer today, that, gender inequality is as a result of a history that did not just happen right. It is flawed. So what we're dealing with is a complex issue. Yeah. So there are things that we cannot just look at them from the surface level. Yes, the first thing that actually what I tell male colleagues is the first thing that people need to recognize is that there is a problem, and that problem needs to be fixed. Okay, now once we're in agreement, then we won't have the discussions of man versus women, boy child versus girl child.
They shouldn't be a boy versus girl.
Yes.
And the only reason why that ever came up is because the girl child was so forgotten for such a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you see right now, because of this, we are giving women, or rather the girl child, the voice, to speak. What we're asking of men is to have ears.
And listen. Yes. Now, dear men, I think you've heard it from the Empress Divine herself, Quinta, and she's here on CeaseNSekkle with us, talking about different issues and some of the issues that are affecting women still to this day, 2019, and we still need to come up with a lot of solutions to make sure that women are not forgotten in the workplace, or are not being marginalized, or, being treated wrong. And men, all you need to do is take a listen.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And we are, playing She's Royal by Taurus Riley just for you, because you said that is your favorite song.
Thank you.
Quinta is in the studio with us talking about all things women, most things women. And you had a few questions, really?
Yes, First question is, are men involved in the network?
Of course, men are involved in the network. Yes. We have male members. There's a time we did a drive for membership, and we shared with all the platforms here, and we actually got men who are members. and they're actively participating, coming up with policies. Yes, and also giving us, stuff from a man's perspective, because there are things that actually, if you want to win this fight for women empowerment, you have to get it from the people who are, holding the position right now, and those are the men. That's it. That's the truth.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, and also, sorry, I also have another question.
Yes.
How is your initiative being received by the male colleagues?
Funny thing, there's lots of mixed reactions. We have men actually who are extremely passionate about the network. They're just wondering what took us so long.
Really?
And
so those are those
yes,
angel men.
Exactly.
Angel men, we see you.
Yes, and in fact, some of them send us ideas. They want to be mentors. They're participating, but on the contrary, we have, I don't know whether to call them haters.
Yes, negative vibes.
Yes, negative vibes. But you see, what happens is in life, actually, you need some form of criticism. You have to be ready for both negative and positive, because you're able to self-assess and check, your balance. If you're moving in the right direction. So really, it is not a big deal as long as we know that at the end of the day, we are fighting for a good cause.
Yeah,
it really is not a big deal.
Cool. And also, I'd love to know. So, because you're such a busy woman, and you have all these change the world situation going on, right? Yes. What do you do in your free time?
I'm a full-time editor, actually. I'm a full-time editor.
So that is your job?
That is my job.
Editing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You've been doing that for a long time
For a long time, actually.
Okay.
My position as president of the network is what I say it's my position of influence. It is something I want to give back to society. Okay. Because I have a daughter.
So, women, that's a really good point, because we come to work and it's like, I'm only going to do my 9 to 5.
Yes.
And then I'm going to go home and that's it. I've done my part.
Yes.
But look, you could be a Quinta and you could be like...
Let me tell you something, Naz. Excuse me.
Sorry.
One thing about decisions that are being made, they do not happen impactful decisions, they don't happen between 8 to 5. They happen after 5. So if you're that person who gives your barest minimum, you come do whatever you have to do, whatever needs to be done, and you go back home. The world is changing. Things are happening while you are at home. So I would actually encourage people, men, women, let's not just give our barest minimum. Let's always do the extra mile. That is where you get the inspiration, the challenge, the rewards. They come from putting in the extra mile.
Now, I can tell that you are like an all-in type of woman, and that's so amazing, because I asked you what you do in your free time, and you said your job.
Yes, she said that she's an editor.
Dude, if it was me, I would be like, on my free time, I'll listen to music. I don't know, I do...
Although I still have some time to listen to music.
Yeah, so I want to know, like, now I know that you're busy, like, you're one of those real busy people.
Not quite. I still do coffee dates with my girls. I hang out.
So important,
yes,
right?
I do.
So important to hang out and make time for yourself. And apart from that, like, what do you do, like, for extracurricular apart from coffee? I'd like to know, like, what else you do.
What else do I do?
Yeah.
Apart from coffee, I try to golf sometimes.
Ooh.
Yes.
I heard a lot of connections happen on the golf.
Let me tell you,
is it true?
As we have to break these boy clubs. Yeah. We have to do whatever it takes.
Okay, now I see the perspective you're coming from on the golf field. You're
trust
like,
you, man.
Women are gonna be here as well, and we are not having this golf.
Please.
And we have Empress Divine in our building today. Quinta Mbori Saina. Yes, I want to ask you.
Is this the point where I say Wagwan?
Yes. You should most definitely say that.
Say when I get corrupt talking come
Wagwan. Yes, I. So I want to know what's Woman Kenya about.
Wow. Woman Kenya is my baby. Woman Kenya is what I would say a platform where we get to recognize ordinary women. Yes, especially like Nazat said, especially the ones who are not in the public domain. They're doing amazing things. back in the at the grassroots levels. They're changing their community. They're impacting the world. So that platform, I created it especially for them because I was in media, and I could see the kind of stories that we were picking and the kind of stories that were selling. But then I realized, really, so what happens to these people who do not have a PR team? They don't have the mechanisms to get to media. So I thought, yes, I think this would be a great opportunity for me to recognize, to me, my way to reach out to them because I know exactly what they're doing and the impact they're having. So yes, that is why Woman Kenya exists.
And Woman Kenya, does it even feature some men at a time?
The thing about women is that I like to tell men that we are born of women.
Yes.
And then we have sisters, we have daughters, we have mothers, we have wives. So we cannot really, remove one another from the equation.
Yes.
That's why even woman, we have the woo and then we have the man. Yes, so we are together in this. So we have actually men who have women issues at heart. So yes, I'm still trying to find that one.
Major point. Repeat. We have men who have women issues at heart.
Yes.
You better know that.
And now, Rasta, if you have woman issues in your heart, we can't help you. Get a woman to advise you, Rasta.
Yeah, that's what she means. Right? But it's very important. Those are the everyday legends. They get forgotten all the time. And they have amazing stories, but you never get to see it in mainstream media.
Never.
So I think what you're doing for Women Kenya is really amazing and big up on yourself. This is why you are such an Empress Divine.
Yes,
yeah, man.
Thank you.
And recently, we had a woman president again coming in.
Iceland.
And she's an environmentalist.
Yes.
And she took it away from the mandem.
Yeah, man.
And what do you think about that, Ridiq?
I think, personally, I believe women have big roles to play because, my mama brought me up. And, she did a fantastic job. I can say that for myself because if I compare myself from where I'm coming from and where I'm supposed to be, I can definitely see she did a lot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So most definitely, I believe leadership is for everyone who's born a leader, Rasta.
Yes.
And that's why you said Iceland, but actually it's Slovakia.
Yes. Slovakia.
I was just trying to test Ridiq because if it was a new male president,
he would have known.
I'm so sure he would have known.
And one thing, there is actually an abundance of research across the world. They say that organizations, countries that are led by women, actually, when you look at the bottom line, they are more successful because women have a unique set of skills that men do not have, like how to handle people. They have, interpersonal skills, negotiation skills in terms of purchasing. Let us look at the households, our homes. Who makes those decisions? Yes. It's actually the women who run homes, and they do
it's a whole other
It's a
job.
brilliant job, yes. So can you imagine if you had women in top leadership, say like in Kenya? Oh my God.
A president woman.
Yeah. And I see that coming.
You see it coming?
Yes, I see it coming.
Yeah, man. I think women, honestly, they just tried to corrupt the story during Adam and Eve and make we look evil. But actually...
Not quite. By the way, if you look at the story of Adam and Eve, I'm trying not to use this word.
The first?
No.
What?
Like, who was the smarter one? No.
She was the smarter one.
Yes, she was.
But what I'm saying is, how people perceived it.
Yes.
Was like, this is the downfall of every man. Is this women, they're the downfall. But the truth is, we're not. We're actually the upliftment. You come from I and I. So that's why we do Empress Divine, because we want to have these conversations. And we always ask all our guests if you're feeling the vibe. Are you feeling the vibe?
I'm feeling the vibe. Yes.
And today on Empress Divine, we have Quinta Mbori Saina, an amazing empress who's doing amazing things. And, we wanted to know if people wanted to read your story, because that's what you do every day. You're an editor. You do the woman's story. Where can they read it?
We are alive online. You can reach us on www.womankenya.com. We are on social media platforms, Woman Kenya on Facebook, at Woman Kenya on Instagram, at Woman Kenya on Twitter. So yes, we are discoverable. Please visit the page. Let us know the kind of stories, the kind of people we need to feature. Maybe we haven't really quite got to them. please help us find them because we know they exist.
Yeah,
Yes.
so if there's a woman out there doing amazing things for the society, even for her family, and just, she's making legendary moves, you can, contact Quinta and tell
Yes.
them the story, and you'll definitely see if
We
you can
will
cover it.
definitely get to you.
Yeah.
We'll get down to you.
And for your personal social media,
Yes, I am available. Yes, I'm also discoverable on social media. On Facebook, I'm Quinta Mbori. On Twitter, I'm Queenie Saina, at Queenie Saina. On Instagram, I am Quinta, at Queenie Mbori.
okay.
Yes.
Guys, so you can follow and
Follow,
continue
yes,
following
yes,
these
exactly.
great moves that Quinta is doing. I mean, I wanted to ask you, what is your message for all the empresses and lionesses out there who are yet to follow their dream, who believe they can do it, but are still not yet getting up and doing what they should do?
Please know yourself. Know yourself. It is important because the moment you know yourself, you'll be able to connect to your purpose. Until you get to that level, you'll just be moving around in circles. So do whatever it takes to know yourself. And remember that nobody can stop reggae.
Thank you. And this is what we do, is we corrupt the empresses when they come here, and we regularize them, and we make them, come on, this is the house of reggae worldwide, from Nairobi to the world. So if you come here and you don't leave with some reggae playing in your head when you go to sleep today, then you haven't been on CeaseNSekkle.
Yes,
We just want to say a big thank you, Ridiq.
Yes, I most definitely want to thank you for
I
coming
had a
to
wonderful
the
time.
International House of
Oh.
Positive Vibes.
Oh,
And yes, we hope you got so much positive vibes, because I feel I got so much positive vibes. And I think I'm gonna get into that race to empower the woman them
Yes.
You better.
in the building.
Yes.
You better,
Yes,
because
I.
you're here with one of the most fire women, and if you don't support us,
Yeah.
I'll be coming for you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Big up on yourself, Quinta. Thank
Thank you so much.
Yes, I. Thank you so
Respect.
much.
Okay.